Hello everybody. We are going to look at Dear Mr Kilmer, Chapter 1. Okay, in order for us to give out evidence for our novel questions, we need to give the evidence based on each chapter. So in that way, it will be easier for you to understand and how to elaborate on your evidence. So evidence, okay, support. Okay, whenever you are answering the questions, dear Mr Kilmer, it always end up with give evidence to support your answer. So evidence support is equal to evidence. Evidence equals to events. So everything that's happening in the story is considered as events. So it is important for you to give a correct evidence because we do not want you to give fake evidence. Okay, so we do not want that, right? So in order for us to understand all the sequences in the story, the plots in the story, it will be easier if we look at something or the chapter according to the before, during, after. So I'm going to explain to you what is actually the before, the during and after. So before here is all refer to all the events that happened before the most important event. So the most important event in chapter 1 would be, okay, if you remember, the misfire of the bug. So everything before, it must happen before the actual most important event. That's why it is called before. Okay, in order for you to remember it, in before, there are about 6 sentences, okay, that can cover the before events before the most important event. Okay, I'm not sure you understand it, but what you need to know is whenever we are talking about events, we need to give out the before, the during and after. So here in the before event, I've given out six sentences that can describe the before event. Okay, for example, okay, number 1. Okay, the story started when Richard, Pa and Gus went hunting. So Pa said, it will be Richard's big day. I can feel it in my bones. Richard is going to get his first deer. So this is considered as a quotation. A quotation will add up marks to your events. Okay. So Richard followed Pa and Gus with a heavy heart. So here you can say that the rifle felt heavy to him. Okay, so this is actually referring to Richard did not like going hunting. Okay, he went there with a heavy heart because Pa has asked him to go. So they reached a creek with a large pool and waited for a long time. So they waited there for a long time. Then a large young buck appeared. It was so handsome and beautiful. Richard was mesmerized. So he was mesmerized looking at the young buck because it's such a beautiful and handsome creature. Okay? So, looking at the buck, Gus was the first to raise his rifle. But Pa said no. No, he said. Okay? This was to be Richard's first kill. So, that is all the events in the before. Okay? Next one is the during. In the during part, okay, after Pa said to God, okay, this was going to be Richard's first kill. Okay, Richard then decided to raise his rifle. Okay, this is the during. Okay, it was an easy shot. Richard fired and missed. Richard purposely misfired the buck. So this is considered the most important event in chapter 1. Okay, so all of this is considered as during. Okay, 7 and 8 is considered as during. Okay, all the events, the during is happening there. Okay, after that we have the after. Okay, Gus was really angry. He said that Richie, you stupid fool, how could you miss a shot like that? Because it was such an easy shot. Richard was supposed to just raise the rifle and pull out the trigger. That's it. But Richard decided to misfire it. Okay? So Pa asked Gus to pack up. He wanted to talk to Richard. And then he asked, "What happened, son? You missed the shot on purpose." He knew Richard did it on purpose. Okay, so he bluntly asked what is actually happening. He asked Richard directly. Okay, so Richard wanted to lie, but he decided to tell the truth. Okay, Richard confessed. Okay, so this is showing that Richard is such a good person. Okay, he was kind, he was gentle. Okay, he couldn't lie to his father. All of this happened in chapter 1. Okay, Richard confessed that he couldn't do it. The deer was so fine and wild, I didn't feel like I had the right to kill him. It's just so painful to take an animal's life. So this is what Richard did. He confessed and tell the truth to his father. So this shows that Richard is such a tender-hearted person. Okay, so here relate to the characteristic of Richard. So Pa listened to Richard's explanation and he accepted it. He said that Richard didn't have to come hunting anymore, not if you don't want to. So altogether in chapter 1, there will be 13 sentences to describe chapter 1. There are 13 sentences to describe chapter 1. Now, I've divided into before, during, and after. Now, when you answer the question, you do not have to mention, okay, the before is all this. Before, Richard, Pa, and Gus went hunting until this was to be Richard's first kill. Okay, next, during, Richard raised his rifle, it was any... No, you do not have to mention the before, the during, the word. Okay, the words, this word, okay, the before, the during, and the after. You do not have to mention it. The words, the sentences before, okay, all the sentences before, all the sentences during, all the sentences after is actually a guideline for you to help you in giving out your evidence. So it helps you because when you read chapter 1, there are so many things, there are so many events in the chapter itself. So which one you should write about? So in chapter 1, the most important event would be the misfire of the deer. Okay, the misfire of the buck. He purposely misfired the buck. So however you say it, that is the most important event in chapter 1. So all the sentences before, the during, and the after is all the evidence to describe the most important event in chapter 1. So I hope you can understand and I hope you can memorize all the before, during, after. We have been doing it for a year now. So I hope you are able to memorize it. Alright, thank you class.